5, 4, 3, 2, and I am alive here at In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the most honest man in all of podcasting, handsome Jackie Jones. My right-hand man, he's on a 2-day poop fest. He is on a 48-hour poop binge, so he will not be here. He's a scooting and a tooting. He's a pooping and a looting. Maybe not a looting, maybe butt looting. But he'll be here next week, the Inch Daddy. He's taking the old pooperoony. So anyway, join me live here. We got Tazo the Greek. We have Patrick. We got Joe Brown. His life is calling. We have Stellar Stephen, Mike B. Dobbs, Dean Maya, and all the fine folks of the Headyverse. And if you're listening on the archives, you're watching on YouTube, on Spotify, or listening on iTunes and all that good stuff, every Tuesday night. Normally, we're here live at 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Maybe I'll start doing the live Jackie Jones show after Dynamite. But anyway, Sunday night, we had one of the best pay-per-views I have ever seen. And I know some of you people are, oh my God, he's an AEW mark. Well, I like it. It made me a wrestling fan again, the AEW. And, there's some stuff that's not the best, which on this show tonight, Dynamite, some of the stuff wasn't the best. But the pay-per-view was Dynamite. It was honestly one of the best shows I've ever seen. So, on the buy-in, we had legit Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander. This was, totally fine. I'm a fan of Chris Statlander. I'm not really a big fan of the alien gimmick, but she's good. Layla Hirsch grew on me, but lately she's kind of going, I don't know. There's something, she's missing something. She's a good wrestler, but she doesn't have really a lot of a character. Hook versus QT Marshall. I saw some people saying this was not a good match, but this is the match that this match should be. This is not like a 5-star classic match. Some people, I think, sometimes look at all the wrestling shows where they look on like a Dave Meltzer, where, each match should be, so many stars, whatever. That's not what this match is for. This match is because Hook is mega over. And this was kind of the blow off of his feud with the Nightmare family, the Factory. He beat all the guys leading up to the man himself, QT Marshall. This is a big superstar in the making. Hook, he is very green, but for his skill level, he's fantastic. And he has a lot of stuff you can't teach. As a man once said, you can't teach being 7 feet tall. You can't teach being hot, all that stuff. You can't teach charisma. You can try to improve, the it factor, whatever. But he has the it factor. He comes out, people are drawn to the man, superstar in the making. They're doing the exact way it should be. Short matches, get in, do some cool stuff, leave some mystery. It's cool. People, who should he feud with? You got time to worry about that down the line. Right now, just keep doing what you're doing with him. House of Black versus I don't know what you call the other team. They're not the Death Triangle at the moment, but you got Pac, who I'm a fan of Pac. Penta Oscuro. I'll be honest, I'm not the world's biggest Penta fan. I know some people really mark out for this dude and think he's he should have been like world champ and like all this stuff. He's fine. I don't dislike him. I actually think Phoenix is a more talented of the Lucha Bros. This new dark stuff he's doing, I'm not really into. And I'm a dark guy. I like the blood and the guts and the demons and the devils and the killing and sacrificing your soul to the devil himself. I'm pro all that stuff. But he's just kind of cornball. But the worst part, So I can live with him. He's fine. But his manager, no. He comes out looking super corny. He's got like a chain or something. Like he'd be walking in like a movie, asking for their dead. Like, bring out your dead. I don't know. House of Black. I like Malachi Black a lot. I like Brody King a lot. Buddy Matthews is ripped. He's all right. He's fine wrestler. Does he go with this group? You got these two guys covered in tattoos, and you got a redheaded man or white red, or very pale. Well, the other guys are pale too, but this jacked up redhead guy who's called Buddy. Can you be like a Satan worshiper and you're just Buddy? He's like Ralph Mouth on like steroids. I don't get it. But this match was fine. This match was good. I dug it. Alex Abrahantes. Yeah, look at this. Get rid of this bum. Then we went to the pay-per-view itself. Eddie Kingston versus Jericho to open the pay-per-view. Hot damn, this match was great. Great build up to this match. I like the whole thing. They have this is another guy, a superstar. They've got a lot of guys you could really build the company around. Eddie Kingston, to me, potential world champion. He's got, again, the it factor. He's got the crowd behind him. People are genuinely emotional about the guy. They actually want to see him do well. It's like a natural story. It's his last run, potentially his last run. And that's all. And it's told so well. He comes out there, you believe what he's saying. And you believe Jericho. Jericho's, I've seen guys like you. You can't win the big one. You're afraid to win the big one. I like all this. They have a hell of a match, opens a show before everyone's starting to get burnt out from some of the cool stuff. Not that this isn't cool. This is kind of wrestling I like. And bam, good stuff. Eddie wins, makes Jericho tap out to the stretch plum. Not like that doesn't really strike fear into my heart, the stretch plum. But whatever, it's cool. It's a cool move. Probably call it something else. But good stuff. And then Jericho refuses to shake the hand of Eddie Kingston. Jurassic Express, the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Now, when this show started, I was a big Luchasaurus fan. He got hurt, and I believe I'm putting this on record. You can go back and listen to the archives of every podcast that's ever been known to man. I was the first guy to start calling out Luchasaurus for smacking the legs too much. Everything, smacking the leg. When he came back, I don't know. But I will say this show and tonight, he's working a little bit more like a big man. He's toning down the flips. I don't think he needs to do that. He's a big jacked up dude. You can do a couple of them because you're big. Bam. Do it up. So I like this guy. Jungle Boy's very good. This was a three-way tag team match for the titles. You had Red Dragon, who won one of the Battle Royals, and the Young Bucks, who won the other Battle Royal. And so you had, the two elite teams who should be working together against the one. Kind of, a natural story here. You have the baby faces got to overcome the odds, and then the heels, there's some dissension in the ranks, which is building up to the eventual Kenny Omega return, I believe. And then we'll have Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks against Red Dragon and Adam Cole. I'm into this. All earlier, there was also there was a promo about Kenny Omega coming back with his manager, Cyrus the Virus. Who's not that anymore? We all know. But anyway, who cares? Jurassic Express was good, though. I'm a big fan of that guy. Jurassic Express won. Good match. Then we had the ladder match for the face of the Revolution. We had some big powerhouse dudes in this. We had Keith Lee and Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs, and you had Orange Cassidy in here. Christian Cage, who I'm not a big fan of Christian Cage, but I do think this was actually a match where it made sense using. He's got the history of the ladder match, so you have the veteran in there who, maybe the king of the ladder matches. And Ricky Starks, he's another guy that's grown on me. I think I like this guy. Some dangerous looking stuff. This was your car crash match. I like about this show had a lot of different stuff, different styles on the show. I like that in my wrestling. I like it when a show has a lot of different things, not just one style. So then this was just this is what I want to see have a ladder match, honestly. Do I want to be in there taking these bumps? Are they necessary? No. But if they're going to do it, I'm going to sit back and watch it. So we had some dangerous looking stuff. Orange Cassidy got huge Beal toss. Keith Lee is the king of the Beal. Threw the man over the ring, hit the two dudes out there, crashed and burned. But I already hurt his shoulder, so that's unfortunate. I'm a big Orange Cassidy fan. Even if I wasn't, I do not like to see people get hurt. I thought Ricky Starks was hurt bad with the power bomb off the ladder onto the ladder, especially after coming back from a broken freaking neck. But apparently he's all right. But I question him being in the match and doing that spot. I don't know if that was smart. Wardlow won. I'm a huge Wardlow fan. Another superstar in the making. We'll get to the show tonight, what I thought about the promo, but crowd is definitely behind this man. He is he's great. But they got to get rid of the stupid. It looks like they got a literal brass ring, but it looks like a lifesaver, not the kind you pop in your mouth. Like if you're on a boat, you fall over, like, save me, and they throw you, an inflatable lifesaver. That's what this is. It's just it's stupid. Get something else. I don't know what it would be. You can't just steal the briefcase. I don't know, the contract, a cool hat for St. Patrick's Day. I don't know, but not a stupid looking lifesaver, life preserver. Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti. This was definitely, in my opinion, the worst match of the show. But I'll say this: it wasn't embarrassingly bad as some Jade Cargill matches I've seen. Some of the Headyverse thinks I hate Jade Cargill. That is far from the truth. I believe she's going to be a huge star. Already really is a star. The crowd is so into her. Since they've already debuted her, you really have to keep her on there because the crowd loves her. Which I would suggest you should probably turn her babyface. But she's definitely too green to be in long competitive matches. She tries very hard, as does Ty Conti. But you had two very green people in here, not particularly good. I don't think the psychology made any sense. I will say I didn't get the kiss at this one, but I believe this is going to be a thing of Jade Cargill because she referenced the kiss of death on Dynamite tonight. So I'm fine with that now. Let's change my opinion on this. The kiss, but as a match goes, it was two green people. For their skill level, it was fine, but this is not a pay-per-view quality match. First of all, Jade Cargill's people call her Goldberg. I don't see the comparison. Besides, she has a undefeated streak. Besides that, there's really not much similar. She's a heel. Goldberg's babyface. Goldberg very poor promo, especially at that time. Now he's all right. He's passable, but Jade, I think, is a better promo, better talker, more athletic. I think she has more potential to be an overall better performer, as opposed to a Goldberg performer who's really best suited to doing a couple big moves. Not because he's green, but it's just that's what people wanted. Where Cargill is better doing that now just because she's green. I don't think there's really a big comparison between her and Goldberg. When I say the potential to be a better, well-rounded performer, I don't necessarily mean a bigger star because Goldberg had charisma and presence beyond, people. But Jade has a lot of presence too. But anyway, Jade is a big star in the making. I just think it would have been better suited if she hadn't debuted and wasn't in these long. This is only 6 minutes, but It's and all right. So also she's the heel. Ty Conti's the baby face. Ty Conti's other baby face partner smashes Jade in the face with a steel chair, which she kicks out of. So the heel gets cheated by the two baby faces. She's, outnumbered and they cheat, hit her in the face with the chair. She kicks out and still wins clean. That's not good psychology. All the fans like her. They've on multiple shows had her baby and her husband at ringside. I don't really get this. Just drop Mark Sterling. He sucks. He adds nothing, and get rid of him and just make her baby face. People want to cheer. Just have her win some short matches. CM Punk defeated MJF. This was fantastic. This is the wrestling I like to see. I know I say this every week, but when you guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk especially, there's some other people I'd put in there, Bobby Fish and stuff. But those guys, they're two top-notch guys, though, Punk and Danielson. They work a style to me that really bridges the two different styles. So you have old school style that I do prefer, where it looks like guys are trying to actually beat each other. And then I've accepted that modern style is more about the performance, seeing like the moves and things like that. There is psychology involved. I'm not going to say there's none. And I don't agree that people say no one sells anything. They don't sell to the degree I think they should, but there is still selling involved. But the biggest thing to me is usually it looks like the guys are working together to do cool stuff. So like a Young Bucks match, I don't hate that match. I like it, but it's usually clear that they're working with the other team to do cool moves. So then you have Punk and Bryan Danielson, and they work, they combine these styles to me. So they'll do a lot of, you can't just go up there and wrestle like in the 70s or even the 80s. For modern audience, you're not going to like that. So they do the big moves, but they also work an old style where it looks like they're trying to beat their opponent. So it bridges the two styles. So the more you have these guys working with some of the younger guys, to me, it really elevates their game and can elevate the whole show. I would put MJF kind of in there too, even though he doesn't necessarily do a lot of big moves, but he is more old school wrestler. Then with Regal's debut, which came later, another guy, huge get up. Anyway, fantastic match, dog collar match. A lot of callbacks to CM Punk's Ring of Honor days, which was cool because AEW bought Ring of Honor, but I think they're playing this even before that. But it just coincided, so that was cool. Punk's had the old tights on. He had the music. I didn't get the music. I'm on AEW a lot for that, doing stuff that they just assume everyone knows. But Excalibur explained it, which is needed. Excalibur needs to do that more often. JR on Dynamite also, I thought, described a couple of things I have in my notes. But Excalibur, he's got the knowledge. He's kind of like the modern day Professor Tenay. So if he knows the history of something like that, explain it, because you can't just assume everyone watching knows. It's cool for the people who do, but not everyone does. So I didn't get the theme song, but you explained that's his original theme or his old theme in Ring of Honor. Cool. Very brutal, extremely bloody. Just a bloody mess. This whole angle has been fantastic. This to me is a storyline of the year. Great storytelling. Smart storytelling, not childish at all. A little more complex, I think, than you see in wrestling. Like they're bringing, when they talk about no heels and baby faces, shades of gray, I don't think that's accurate, but I do think the shades of gray part is. So you have the clear baby face in CM Punk and the clear heel in MJF, but your shades of gray where neither are totally evil and neither are totally good. Where MJF, maybe you can make the argument he's evil, but he's also has reasons why he got there, which they explained in this angle the last 2 weeks. I thought it was masterfully done storytelling in wrestling. I even showed a non-wrestling fan of mine, and they really dug it. But anyway, this was a culmination, great match. If you haven't, I would suggest checking out the CM Punk post-show Q&A. You could see how much this match meant to him and how much wrestling in AEW has meant to him. He gets very emotional. Just fantastic. And blood galore. CM Punk really knows how to bleed. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. She keeps her title. This match was fine. It was a little messy. I'm a big fan of Britt Baker as a character, and she's passable as she can have good matches, but sometimes they're kind of messy, which I'm not completely against, because I do think wrestling looks better if it's a little messy and not completely choreographed. But she's just not technically great in the ring at times. But her connection to the crowd supersedes that, and she can get by with it. Thunder Rosa, I believe, was hurt, so this wasn't their best match, but it was good. John Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. This another fantastic match. These guys just tore the place up. Danielson's at the top of his game. You could tell he's really motivated. He's never been bad at all. Don't get me wrong, but in this new environment, he looks fantastic. He's having the best match he's had in years. And you could tell he's having fun, even though he's the bad guy. I think he's one of the best heels in wrestling. Moxley's got himself in the shape of his life, and these guys tore it up. Great. I like this. Is another storyline I like. It's this kind of basic stuff. It was Danielson's like, we're guys that have been to the top. We have the experience. What if we led, because AEW's built around factions. What if we lead some of these guys that need better leadership? We take 2.0. We take I think it was Garcia from 2.0, different people, Dante Martin, whoever. I like this. And Moxie's like, I will only, team with someone I bled with. So they have to have this fight, and they bleed. And then to continue this story, so you've got the arguably the best brawler going and the best technical wrestler going. But they have something there. They could help lead people, but and maybe they could be tag champs. But they can't quite mesh. Regal comes out, who has a history of both guys. He's the guy that keeps these two together. Boom. Great. Works for me. Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara with Sting. And they wrestled the Andrade Hardy family office. The worst angle in wrestling. This angle's the shits. But very good match. I'm a huge fan of Sting, and I like all three of the baby faces, but I love seeing Sting wrestle in AEW. It's a great time. So this was excellent. Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Sting. I know I'm going to have a fun time. I don't really care about the other team at all, but seeing Sting diving off the crowd through a table at 60-something years old. People could say where they want, saying he's there for the money, and obviously money helps, but there's he's been I think his run in the end of WCW showed what you get out of Sting if it's just about money, because he just walked through stuff, and he was 25 years younger than he is now. This isn't he doesn't jump off balconies for the money. He's doing this because he's really having a good time. I think him, and there's been other people. It's not that they didn't like wrestling; they didn't like the wrestling business, and they're somewhere where the people actually get along, and it's refreshing to them. So, very fun match. And then we had the main event: Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole. Following everything else, it was hard to follow, but a really good match for the world title. I don't know, at this end of the show with everything we saw, could they do it? I don't know, but they did it. It was awesome. Really good match. It wasn't the best match on the show, but it was better than I expected. I was really looking forward to it, but it was better than I expected having it be last after following the Moxley Danielson, the CM Punk match, the Eddie Kingston match. It was very good. There's still something missing for me as Hangman as champion. I don't know. I really like him. He has great matches, but like on the show Dynamite, some of the angles they put him in don't necessarily do it for me. I'm a big fan of Adam Cole. I think future world champion. Just a great pay-per-view. Steven, I want Cesaro to join Bryan's faction if he signs. That's actually a great one. That would be very good. Perfect fit. Plus, his only weakness is not arguably, his only weakness is promos. If he's with those guys and Regal, he doesn't need to talk. He could just be the worker. All three guys are workers, but you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't need to talk with those guys. In fact, you don't need another talker when you've got Moxley, Danielson, and Regal. So the follow-up, to me, one of the best pay-per-views I've seen. I loved it from start to finish. It was long, but it didn't feel long. So we have the follow-up from Fort Myers, Florida. It opens up. JR puts over the pay-per-view, one of the best shows he's seen. I agree with Jim Ross. That was nice. Did a quick recap of the Jericho Eddie Kingston match. That was cool. Jericho says, awaken something in me. And I didn't live up to my word to shake his hand. We got a shake his hand chant from the crowd, which was funny, I thought. Eddie comes out. And he cuts a great promo. It's really from the heart. You were right. I was afraid going in. He was talking about, possibly being self-destructive, go out drinking or something and, just giving up on this match. But he believed him. The crowd started doing the what chants, which everyone is annoyed by. And Eddie just confronted the guy, which was great because then it stopped it. And you didn't hear it again the rest of the night. He was just like, "Come on, man, show me some respect." And he's like, "My boy Steve Austin's not here." That was good. So then Jericho just like, "I respect you. Please shake my hand." Shakes his hand. 2.0 comes out. Where they did a good job here because they just kind of pushed Jericho down, which looked a little weak, but it really, after you see the end of it, you understand why. Santino and Ortiz come out. I did think it was a little weird. They come out and they hold one of 2.0 there, like by the face, like, and gives Jericho the bat. It's like, this would be something out of like a mafia movie. Like they're just going to fucking kill the dude. Cause if you were holding the guy down here, Jericho smash him in the face with the bat. I mean, you're going to, at the best, bust out all his teeth and break his jaw. You're probably going to murder the man. It's like Negan stuff. And so anyway, I kind of saw this coming, but I don't necessarily mind that as long as it's good. I'd rather have something good that might be a little predictable than a swerve for the sake of swerving. So Jericho hits Santana. I don't know which one of Santana Ortiz. So you got Jericho with 2.0 and Garcia. I like this because I see a lot of potential in 2.0 and Garcia, which AEW does too, because they use these guys a lot. Putting them with Jericho automatically elevates them. I remember when they put Sammy Guevara with them. I didn't know too much about that guy. I remember when he came out with the panda bear head, and I was like, who is this guy? But being with Jericho, it really elevated him. They elevated, everyone to begin with in the inner circle. So could he do it again here with 2.0? We'll find out. He's got himself in great shape. Jake Hager comes out and he's like, doesn't know which he's going to join, but he joins with Jericho. I'm not really a big Hager fan. I don't know what he adds. Probably better as a heel though, because then at least you got the big giant guy in the heel team that works. Scary powerbomb at Eddie Kingston because he kind of lost. He almost lost him, Hager, when he was doing the powerbomb. I thought he was just going to drop him, but he saved it. And it still looked pretty cool. They powerbombed him through the table. The Jericho Appreciation Society. I was talking about elevating these guys, which I think you can do. The only issue is if you call them the Jericho Appreciation Society, it's going to be hard to elevate those guys because they're going to be seen as like the stooges for Jericho's, but we'll see where it goes. This next match was actually very good, but I did not understand it. It was Dante Martin versus Hangman Page for the title match. Was this built at all? So Dante just got a title match out of nowhere? That's very strange. If this was built even like a week, I'd be all for it. Because it was good, but it didn't make a lot of sense. And I don't think it does any favors for Hangman Page title run if you just defend the belt against a guy for no reason. It was a good match though, and it was a really nice promo afterwards. Hangman just put him over, and Dante, and he's like, if you get back up to this level, I'd like to do it again sometime. I liked all that. I liked the match. I just wish there was a little. I don't say it has to be like a great big story, but some type of story as to why he had it. Adam Cole comes out. He's going to make Hangman's life a living hell. He won't stop till he becomes champ. I'm glad that they're continuing this because I like Adam Cole and I'd like to see the match again. So next week it's going to be Adam Cole and two of the elites who we find out later, and against Hangman and two people. Moxley and Daniel. Oh, by the way, I thought this was a nice little touch. During this match, Jim Ross announced that there was an added match later in the show. Not that it was a great match. It was a fine match, but not like it was a big time match. But this added some realism to the show because the reasoning was the title match didn't go the hour time limit. So if this was really happening, you would have, some time left. So they added a match. That was cool. I like that. Especially if they do another hour title match at another time, it kind of sets it up. If it happens to be in the middle of the show, instead of giving away that it's going to go an hour, like, oh, well, they might just add a match like they did last time. Moxley and Bryan Danielson versus the Workhorsemen. You can't use this name. It's cute, but you can't use the Workhorsemen. It just makes people think of the Horsemen, and people would rather see the Horsemen than these guys. They're fine. They're a fine job team, but the match was good because even though it went a little long, not that I was bored or anything, but you would think they should just beat these guys in like a minute, but they toyed with them. It was very one-sided. It just went a couple minutes, but I like that. Daniel Bryan does that a lot where he just beats the dude. And Daniel Bryan is great. Bryan Danielson's great at just beating people now. Bryan and Moxley had separate entrances, which was interesting. And Regal was there with them. Just good stuff. This was good stuff. You had the guy who's kind of wild. They complement each other. Both are very physical in different ways. Well, one guy's very physical as a wrestler and a striker. Then you've got the brawler, who also is a good wrestler though too. Great promo with Regal and Tony Schiavone. Geraldine's at work. That's why she's not on tonight. She was on last week. Tony Schiavone and Regal. Regal talked about 29 years ago. He was on TBS with Regal, with Tony Schiavone. And he just a great promo and talked openly about his demons and the hard life he's lived. And he's like, everyone knows I'm not long for this world. So he's got to make the best of it. It's kind of sad, but I liked it. Too many broken bottles and broken hearts. This was just great stuff. He thanked Tony for, helping him out back in the day. Then he's just like, it's enough being nice. I'm no longer needed in my previous work. Everyone knows, what he means there. It's nice you reference it without hearing it. Too many cryptic letters from Lexar. Oh, man. No one was in the chat room. By the way, if you join the show live, come in the chat room. My friend Bryan Danielson thanked me. So Regal puts over that for the last 20 years, people he was kept in people's mind because Bryan Danielson would always thank him in promos. I like this. It puts over why they're connected, these guys. And he really put this was great because Regal really made this team mesh to me because he was talking about Bryan Danielson is a wrestler he should have been, because he, was a great wrestler, all these things, but he did not have any of the demons that Regal did. I like that. And then and then 11 years goes, I met you, and he goes to Moxley, and he talks, basically hinting that Moxley did have all the issues that Regal did. So I like all that. You've got the two different sides of the coin. So I love this angle. I'm really looking forward to more of this. All three guys, fantastic promos. I'm so happy to see Regal in AEW and on TV. I think he can do great things behind the scenes and on camera. I'm glad they hired him for behind the, if he does stuff behind the scenes to help the guys, because he's been universally put over as thanked as a guy who really helped people in NXT, coaching them to be better. That was something else he said. He said, I don't think I wrote it down, but he said, there's one thing I can do is if you give me whatever months, whatever, I can make you a better wrestler. And I thought that was fantastic. Oh yeah, if someone wants to work hard, I'll make you a better professional wrestler. I think that was great. And I think there's a lot of truth there. There's a lot of naturally gifted wrestlers in AEW. And like I was saying, guys who work with Punk and Daniel Bryan can get better. Regal's a guy that can help people backstage. Look, you've got all these tools. Let me just help you with the psychology and make you a better, well-rounded wrestler. Invaluable pickup, I think. Hangman in the back with the Dark Order. I think most of these backstage promos were bad tonight. They all seem very rush. A lot of them were cut like short. They're strange. I don't know. They weren't good. I just get rid of the Dark Order. They don't add anything anymore. It's just a group of like comedy goofs. There was a time I enjoyed them. I don't enjoy them anymore. Get Hangman away from these guys. He's supposed to be your world champ, and he's hanging out with these morons. He apologizes to him for some reason. I don't even know why. Somebody pushed one of the guys. Who gives a fuck? They're wrestlers. They're men. I guess they wanted Hangman to pick two of them to wrestle next week, but he said he already ran into Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy and picked them. But she said because they wanted to fight the Young Bucks, but then he found out later on the Young Bucks aren't even in the match. I thought this was just lame. Bad stuff. It's foreshadowing. I believe the Dark Order will turn heel, but at this point, unless you have someone to lead these guys, who gives a fuck? Who do you bring in? As a big bad guy I don't know. I think the group's beyond like really. Can you really make these guys big heels again? The crowd likes the Johnny Hungy guy. I would just disband him. You could make him a baby face. He doesn't need the Dark Order. And some of the guys you can keep doing. Colt Cabana's wasted in this, and some of the other guys just whatever. They're just dudes. Not to be mean, but you have like a huge roster now. You don't need these guys. I'm just going to predict a weird one here. I'm going to say Brian Cage when he returns and he's the new leader of the Dark Order. And then that leads to Brian Cage versus Hangman Page for the title. That's my prediction. You heard it here first, folks. Wheeler Yuta, who I like, but versus Pac, totally fine match. It was just a quick match. It's fine. Orange Cast with the cast. But that fucking manager looks like a total goof. No, it's not good. And it's too much. All right. I don't really like Dan. It's not I dislike. I just don't get the Danhausen guy. I don't find him funny. I like Orange Cassidy. I'm not against Danhausen being there because I can realize fans like him. So, to me, I mean, I'm not an idiot. If fans like someone, you keep them. But the even like JR kind of references, he says, I don't know what he's about, but people care. That's what I think. I don't get it, but people like it, so whatever. But it's too much Orange Cassidy and Danhausen in the same team. It's like I think they kind of nullify each other because you have a similar kind of thing where people just kind of laugh at their weirdness. But then you have them together. I don't know. It's just too much. So Cole picks Red. This was weird too. Another kind of lame backstage segment. Cole just picks Red Dragon, and then like it was weird because like his promo in the ring was very serious, and this was kind of goofy and comedic. It tone wise, it didn't really fit. Then we had another. This could have been good. I think maybe if it was live in the ring, but the way they did it, it came off very poor, and it was cut so short. It was not good. It was edited very poorly. It was so you had the back is FTR, and they're asking FTR, where do you go from here? They're like, they're all about wanting revenge. They want revenge on the Young Bucks and Red Dragon. So I get that. And then you had Tully, who says, when I came in with you guys, it was all about titles. Forget about revenge, go for the titles. I was like, okay, that's good. That works. Tully's their manager. He's going to keep them focused. That explains why they have the manager. They're going to refocus, go for the titles, but they're like, no, we got to think of our families. But if you're thinking of your families, wouldn't going for the title make more sense? Because then you get more money for your family. You don't get more money because you get revenge. I didn't get it. I thought it was poor. It's a poor angle. And then they just fired Tully. There's something here that you could have done, but it didn't make any sense. I like Tully. I think they should have just said, okay, Tully, we're going to do this. And then maybe if they didn't win, then they fire Tully. But the way it was set up, I didn't think it really made much sense. And it was cut instantly. She was like, you're fired. It just cut immediately. It's very strange. They didn't leave it on them at all to get a reaction from Tully. Just, you're fired. And that was it. It looked very unprofessional. It wasn't good. The AHFO. This sucks. Stellar Stevens says Danhausen for Dark Order. I mean, he's comedic and stuff. If they put him, they could put him there, and I can just miss. I would skip those segments probably, but I know there's the audience who would like it. This is just not for me. AHFO. This fucking blows. I'll say. I think this is the worst faction. Probably the worst angle in AEW. I will say where they got to was great. The lead up to it was just shits. I'll be honest. I think Andrade sucks. I gave the guy a shot. I don't think he's good. He's like a capable wrestler, but I mean, what wrestler isn't really? I'm not saying no one's any good. Everyone's fantastic, but you don't have a shortage of good in-ring wrestlers. You have a plethora of in-ring wrestlers that are very good. So he's not he doesn't stand above anyone in the ring at all. He's an awful talker, and they have him talk all the time. And I know it's not all his fault. He doesn't speak perfect English. I don't get it. This angle is terrible. Just the shits. He's like, I don't know, watch you back. And then it was the tag team Private Party used to be over, and then they just died once they put him with Matt Hardy. And Matt Hardy, like, this really should have been built better. They knew Jeff was coming in. They just like, well, what do we do? Like, oh, we'll just all of a sudden Matt isn't big money anymore one day, and Jeff comes in all in 2 minutes. I mean, come on. So he's just like, when I wear a suit, I'm an asshole. So I'm not wearing a suit anymore. I don't know. This was terrible. This was not like planned out. This is just the pits. But so they're beating up. They all turn on Matt, start beating him up. Darby and Sting come out. But then you hear the Jeff Hardy music, and the place totally explodes. So whatever he did before, I guess you just forget. But it's too bad you didn't have a great angle to build to the Jeff Hardy debut, because they went ape shit. I mean, this was huge. And then you've got, to me, it's great because you have Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy together. You get another run with the Hardy Boys, and you get a run with the Hardy Boys in a place that has so many teams, so many great teams. You have like some serious dream matches. You got the Young Bucks versus the Hardys. I know they did that on the Indies or Ring of Honor maybe, but we've not seen it on a national, stage. You got FTR, you've got Red Dragon, you've got Lucha Bros, you've got God, you've got tons of teams you could do. Even now, you're probably going to see him against Butcher and Blade. Not that that's a dream match, but that's a cool match just to build into something big. So anyway, get that. I guess it's kind of weird. They put Sting with Jeff Hardy in case they need someone to shoot pin somebody. I don't know. Terrible angle, but the crowd reaction saved it, and they got where they needed to go, but the getting there was bad. Tony and Swerve backstage. I don't know this guy, so I'm going to give him a shot before I say anything good or bad about him. Tony Nese, who I actually like, came out. I don't know what they were talking about. I didn't pay much attention. The new face of the Revolution, Wardlow interview. I'm a big Wardlow fan, and the crowd saved this segment from death, but this was not good. This was, to me, this was a very WWS promo. It sounded very like it was scripted. It was not good, and it went on forever. So he definitely needs. He's a well-spoken guy, but he doesn't talk like what I would expect this badass to talk. I don't know. It's not good. It wasn't good. He needs work, and he needs some better stuff. Keep it short too. He shouldn't be out there talking for 5 minutes about his. It didn't work for me. It wasn't good. QT Marshall and Keith Lee backstage. Another really bad backstage segment. It's just so weird. I love Keith Lee as a wrestler, but he should talk as least as possible. QT was just like, oh, we've got a common enemy in Team Taz. I was like, oh God, don't put fucking Keith Lee with QT Marshall as a team. And then he's like, oh, I don't think so. Blah, blah. He walks off, and then QT's like, you'll pay for this. It was like a cartoon character villain. It was bad. It was cheesy, kind of made me laugh. It was not good. I assume this will lead to a Keith Lee, QT Marshall. I hope just a match. That's not a feud anyone wants to see. Jurassic Express versus the Acclaimed. I'm a big fan of both teams, but Acclaim's awesome. Jungle Boy never saw a pair of boobs. All that hair on your head, you can't grow pubes. Fantastic. One of the best entrances in wrestling, the Acclaim. A really good match. Luchasaurus is working more like a big man lately, doing less flips, which I think is a big improvement. Cool Doomsday Device. This was good. That was a good match. Good title match. And right people win. I think Acclaimed eventually world champ material, tag champ material. Not quite yet, but down the road. Jade and Mark video 30-0. She put over the kiss of death. At least now the kiss made sense, so that's fine. This wasn't as bad as a lot of the other videos backstage. Women's eliminator match. I thought maybe this was part of a tournament or something. I guess it was just a match to win. Key to get a title shot. Legit Layla Hirsch. She's getting kind of soft. She's always, a thick girl, but she's kind of chubby and soft. I don't know. Match was fine for Thunder Rosa. It was too long. It was kind of long. I thought it would lose the fans more than it did, but Thunder Rosa wins, and then huge announcement: Thunder Rosa is going to be in a cage match versus Britt Baker next week. And I was glad Jim Ross was there because he explained why. Because was needed. It does make sense storyline because there was so much interference at the pay-per-view. Then that should logically lead to a steel cage to keep everyone out. They didn't explain it all, but Jim Ross did, which was good. Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky. It's a really good match. I like Scorpio Sky, but I hate I don't like the grouping. What's his name? Ethan Embry or something? Ethan Page. He has they have no chemistry together at all, him and Scorpio Sky. I hate Dan Lambert. I hate to say this is almost like a WWE title switch, because Scorpio, they built up like a year ago. He won the big brass inflatable tuba thing, and then never got the title shot. It was just like forgotten forever. And then like he's really done nothing of note for a year and a half or something. And then just all of a sudden he gets a title shot and he wins the belt. He's the new TNT champion. It kind of felt in WWE they do that. Like they'll just put the belt on the guy like a year after they were over with no build or anything. But it was a really good match, Joe. Really good. I like Scorpio Sky. But I wouldn't have took the title off Sammy already, but see, they had Ty and their they mentioned that their husband and wife, Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara. Paige Van Zant came out, beat him up. She signed a contract. She's got a lot of charisma. You know, I don't know how she'll be as a wrestler since she's, you know, just coming in, but character-wise, really good. Overall, I enjoyed the show. I think the biggest complaint were I thought almost the entire backstage segments were very bad. But and even some of the stuff I didn't like, the crowd reaction, like I don't the Matt Hardy stuff is bad, but Jeff Hardy coming out with such a big moment, you kind of forget about the build to that. But I'm just saying though, if you had a really good build to it, and then you have the reaction, then you have like a classic segment. Otherwise, it's no matter, you probably would have had the same reaction if you just came out cold with nothing. You just walked out there with no angle whatsoever. So, you know, I think you're going to get good stuff out of it. Just I wish it would have been a better build to the Matt Hardy thing. Matt Hardy switched characters way too many times in his AEW run, but hopefully now like he'll be on some type of track, because he's really, to me, he's kind of lost what he should be. So there we go. That was the pay-per-view off the charts. Dynamite, good. Some really good stuff on it. Really looking forward to what's going on here in the future of AEW. Also, what they're going to do with Ring of Honor. I did notice tonight there were several handshaking things. So I don't know if that's just throwing that out there, get people thinking, you know, what they're going to do with Ring of Honor. We'll find out. All right. Well, if anyone wants to zoom in, you can zoom in. And if not, I'm going to get to these questions. Next week, we'll be back to our regular time. But like I said, he was on a 48-hour poop fest. He's cleaning the bowels of his butthole. So he's not on tonight. So you guys can zoom in and talk wrestling. And if you don't want to, that's totally fine. I'm going to go and answer these questions. Let me pull them up. Go over here. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Vic Schiavone, thank you for $25 to the website. If anyone out there would like their very own 8-bit classic Wrestleman classic 8-bit style Sprite, you can PayPal $25 to the website, link on iwitchwrestling.com, or you could super chat money here in the show, in the YouTube. All right, let's get over here these questions. Question time in the city. Here we go. Here are the questions. Join facebook.com/group/iWatchWrestling to send in weekly questions. Let's see. Reese, who's the hell's the Risu report? Who are you? The Risu Report. What's up?
Hey, this is Steven. I just forgot to change my setting.
Oh, no worries. Are you gonna report on the Risu?
Yeah, the pure Resu, the Resu Ringo. Possibly. I don't have a report tonight, but I just wanted to listen in.
All right. How you doing, my friend, my pal, my amigo?
Oh, doing great.
Excellent. What's on your mind?
No, I just really enjoyed Revolution and
Yeah, it was an awesome show.
the Regal. I didn't see all the Dynamite, but I did like the Regal promo. That was
Oh,
a
yeah,
highlight
that was
for me.
great. I'm really looking forward to where this goes. But that was the whole thing was emotional. It made sense. It progressed the story. It explained why they were together. Everything made sense, and it was just good stuff. Here's the new Ugandan giant, 8-bit Wrestleman. Pretty sweet. And the 5 count.
Do you have an Ox Baker one pulled up?
I do not have it pulled up here, but there is also Heart Punch. Whoa. Lexar's all blurry. You been licking your camera? All steamy. What have you been doing? You got Vaseline on your camera? You've been doing naughty business? Naughty. There we go. Now he's nice and clear. Got all the jizz off the camera. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. So we got the Shamrock cowboy hat. That's what they used to wear in Ireland. What's up, Lexar?
Oh, yeah.
How's it going?
I'm doing fine. I think I'm the only one here.
No, Risu reports here.
Reese report. Bring
Stellar
the
Steven. Stellar Steven.
Stellar Steven.
Golgo, I was surprised Layla Hirsch was still wearing her Russian colors. If you want to make Layla a heel that gets real heat, she could start playing up being born in Russia. I wouldn't do that. I think we live in a different time. I don't think it would really get heel heat. I think it would just get people really not wanting to see it. All right.
I'll send you the questions to the messenger app at first.
Yeah, I got it. Let me pull it up. Anything on your mind before I get to these, my friend?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling really sad right now.
Why is that?
WWE had, well, it's not that I will care because I'm not going, but for Nikhil Callahan, it will probably be a one less experience for Nikhil because he might be going to WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, fighting to survive. Pump it up, pump it up.
But he won't experience WrestleMania fan access. WWE has canceled it for the second year in a row.
Really? I'm surprised because it seemed like a lot of things are going back to normal. Like even up in Boston, they, for a while I had to show proof of vaccination. That's been gone. You don't have to wear a mask even in the theater anymore. So that's strange. Most of the stuff's going back to normal. So I'm surprised they would cancel it.
Yeah, AEW had a fan fest over this weekend.
What, are they just a bunch of bitches?
Mm-hmm.
guys, because it seems like a lot of things.
They need to control their narrative.
They, for a while, I just.
We
Yeah,
might
I'm
have
waiting
some,
for-
we might have some CYN talent here on the show.
I actually was contacting EC3 earlier about that
Nice.
on Instagram.
Hit them up. Tell them to do in your head.
Yeah, he's got to spread. He's got to grow the movement like he's been stating.
Righty. Let me check my messages here. But yeah, everyone tweet, email. Don't like being asked, but just get the word out there. Say, hey, buddy, go on in your head. We want to hear. I myself want to hear what, in his own words, exactly what's going on here. So we want to get him on the show and find out. All right.
Mr. Bootler is here, so it's time for the Raw report.
Raw report tonight. By the way, Jackie Jones Coffee is brought to you by the fine people of Dead Sled. And for Women in Horror Month, I am drinking the Elvira Mistress of the Dark coffee. It's very nice. It's from Honduras, Rwanda, Colombia, and Bali. Baking chocolate with pleasant bitters and dark berry finish.
How does she taste?
Very nice. Very good.
I remember her.
Yeah.
She used to do those WCW Halloween Havoc commercials back in the day.
Yeah, she's still around. She's very cool. I met her in conventions.
Oh, same here.
At least she's coming back to Shudder. Stevie!
Hello there.
What's up?
Oh, great week of wrestling, I'll tell you.
Wrestling! Boom, look at this. We've got a member of the House of Black online with us.
The house always wins.
Raw report.
So you want your Monday Night Raw fix?
Give it to us, boy. Give it to us uncooked. Give it to us uncensored. Give it to us raw.
Well, this
Monday
is
Night Raw.
Yeah, well, this is for Goose. Guess who started off Monday Night Raw? For, I don't know, the third, fourth, fifth week in a row. Alpha Academy.
Oh, man.
So they came out. Seth and Kevin and Alpha Academy came out. And actually, this first hour was mostly all wrestling because they put the triple threat tag team title match, RK Bro versus the Alpha Academy versus Owens and Rollins. And I was really impressed. I thought this was really good. Orton tried to recreate his catch the guy in midair and do an RKO spot on
RKO out of nowhere, as the kids say. They're like,
yeah, where he catches the guy in midair and gives him an RKO. I remember the one
Lexar's at the lunch table or during recess, and they're playing on the jungle gym. They're all going RKO out of nowhere, right, Lexar? All right, go on, Raw report.
So I remember the one he did against Evan Bourne, which I thought was really good. Timing was great. This one wasn't as good, but he caught him, and you have new Raw Tag Team Champions, RK Bro, or hold the belts again.
I thought they were the tag champs.
No, it was Alpha Academy.
Hmm.
They beat Alpha Academy to win the belts.
Did Alpha Academy beat them for the belts?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. And so regaining the belts are Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. So immediately they wanted to cool down the crowd, so they brought out the love affair of Dana and Reggie and Tamina and Tozawa. And Tamina and Dana Brooke had a match for the 24/7 title, and Dana Brooke retained the belt. She beat Tamina. I was expecting Tamina to just beat the crap out of her and win the belt, but
Oh God, I hope not.
well, who else is going to challenge Dana for the belt? Tamina's the only 24/7 geek chasing after it.
Why don't they just get rid of the belt?
Well, they I mean, this is a cool down spot. I mean, this is, they got to put something out there.
It's the shit spot. Lex, are you still popping for the 24/7 stuff? You still love it?
I sometimes forget that it even exists.
Exactly. Even Lexar, the diehard of diehards, he's like, enough of this shit. It's like The View. He's outgrown it.
When R-Truth was
Yeah,
champion.
that if R-Truth doesn't have it, forget it.
The comment's not there anymore. Well,
Boom. House of Black.
That's always wins.
Go on, boy.
So this announcer that you probably don't know, or I don't even know him, Kevin Patrick. They did this whole storyline that if you weren't the tag team champions, you weren't going to get on WrestleMania. So both Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens particularly are all depressed and sad that they don't have a WrestleMania match. I think Kevin Owens just kind of like sulked. I don't even know if he cut a promo after that. He was just kind of like,
I guess we're not going to get the Stone Cold. I'll be honest, if he couldn't come back and be happy with the match, and I'm glad he's not doing it. I don't want to see him come back and just have like a sad match. And that'd be my last memory of Stone Cold in the ring. He's just this old man. He can't do shit.
Yeah, in a way, I'm kind of glad about this too. Like I said last week, I mean, Stone Cold's the one guy who never came back, never took a big payday to come back, and I'm kind of glad that he never did that. And it's been 19 years, and I think, yeah, just come out. I mean, he's going to be there. I mean, it is in Texas. He's going to be there, but just come out and drink a few beers, stun somebody, but don't have a wrestling match.
Yeah, if he was happy doing it, I'm cool to see it, but I don't know. I don't want to see him come back and get hurt or just look like really pathetic. I mean, I would have been the last bunch of Goldberg matches I could have done without. A lot of the last stuff Undertaker did, I would have been better if he had retired a little before that.
So Miz and Logan Paul come out, and of course,
AJ one was fine, but the some of the matches before that. Go on.
So Miz and Logan Paul come out, and of course, Miz is from Cleveland, and so they're in Cleveland tonight. So at first, you think he's going to, be a baby face of the crowd, put Cleveland over and all of that. And even they bring out their guest, which is Jerry the King Lawler. Now, I knew about this. I knew like Lawler's known for being the king of Memphis, but he grew up in Cleveland. And he's a big Cleveland Browns football fan, and he came out wearing a Cleveland Browns football jersey. And of course, Miz turns heel on his former hometown ground because he said, "I don't live here anymore." And I was kind of thinking that they were going to do something with Lawler, but I guess because of his heart condition and all that, they didn't do anything. They just left him in the ring.
He's been ducking me. I'm gonna heart punch him someday. Speaking of Lawler,
come back.
Speaking of Lawler, I'm really glad that Mike Besler shared that Memphis link. Any old Memphis is appreciated.
Mike Bessler is a good man, no matter what Lexar says about him.
I didn't say nothing about it. I should say something about Al. Ooh.
Fuck that guy.
So they had a tag team match. Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa taking on Rude and Ziggler, and the winners were Breaker and Ciampa. But breaking news, because I guess maybe you didn't watch NXT, but we have a new NXT champion in Dolph Ziggler.
Weird, because I thought they were really going with Braun Breaker, but maybe they'll have multiple time NXT champ Braun Breaker, or maybe they're ready to bring Braun Breaker right up. I don't know.
Well, that would really hurt NXT if that happens.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a priority now. NXT is just straight up developmental, so it doesn't really, I don't think they care about protecting it.
So they had a match, the tag team match, and I think it was Ziggler who took the fall in the tag team match on Raw, and I thought that was weird considering on the Tuesday in the triple threat match, it was Ziggler with help from Robert Roode. Bobby Roode interfered in the match and helped Ziggler win the belt. That he actually he now won the title that he said he had never won before. So now I guess next week, Ziggler is going to show up wearing the NXT title on Monday Night Raw, and the next NXT show that they're going to have, I think it's WrestleMania weekend. I think they've already announced there's going to be, he's going to defend it one-on-one against Braun Breaker in the main event.
That's really strange because they spent years building up NXT to be the third brand. Then they dismantled it and made it seem unimportant, saying it's, developmental. And then they try to make it important again, having a guy on the regular roster win the title. Does it make up your mind?
Yeah, I mean, but quite frankly, NXT going off on a tangent here. NXT
Wild and young
doesn't have any stars, and this is how Ziggler is being portrayed.
It's not really supposed to be at this anymore, though. It's supposed to just be where guys train to become WWE stars. They get rid of all the stars.
Gigi Dolan makes me feel wild and young.
You got to be one or the other. I don't think you can be a developmental place where the guys train to become WWE wrestlers and an alternative company promote an alternative brand where it's like a different style wrestling. You can't be both things. It's got to be one or the other.
Well, Jack, your favorite wrestler Omos was in the next match taking
this
on.
This is what I would do with Omos. You make the Battle Royal Championship. He just wins it all. He defends it all the time in Battle Royals. He sucks. You don't want to see him wrestle, but you could just see him throw out about a bunch of schmucks.
Want him to be just come out in Battle Royals only?
Exactly. The only time you see him is in Battle Royals. And then you build up, maybe if he gets halfway decent, he could be someone's tag partner. Like, oh shit, he's tagged with Omos, and then he wins. But I don't want to see this guy in singles matches. He sucks. He does. He honestly, he's worse than Great Khali. At least Great Khali looks scary. Like this guy just looks like he's like lost, and he looks like he's trying to pretend to be a wrestler. I don't think he wants to be a wrestler. He doesn't look intimidating for a giant man. I know, Lexar loves him.
He needs to control his narrative on Raw Underground like he used to.
Control your narrative. Lexar, you're going to go to some Control Your Narrative shows?
You got to bring your own chair.
I think that it should be renamed Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Whoa. That's a good wrestling name.
Some good entrance music.
Mm-hmm.
Raw report.
So Edge cuts a heel promo. So now full-fledged heel. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes.
Who's a heel?
Edge.
Oh yeah, I saw that. When you like didn't the last like so I only watch a pay-per-view, so it's really weird. The one pay-per-view, it's all about him defending like his wife against, and then the next show he's like this hated guy who's like trying to kill somebody. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think the role.
Why does he hate AJ so bad? What did AJ do?
He accepted.
Why does every heel turn out to be like total like want to kill a guy?
And wasn't AJ a heel like when he was tag teaming with Omos?
Oh yeah. I didn't even realize he was a baby face. I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. Like this entire.
We gotta turn Edge heel, so let's turn this other guy a baby face so he can turn heel on. I don't get it.
Yeah, like I said last week, I said 99% of the roster is heel, and by default, like somebody has to be a baby face, even though they were like a heel last week or two. Anyway, this is how mixed up the WWE is.
I did real quick. I disagree with what Gold was saying here. He said Moxley and Bryan should have squashed the Workhorsemen. I agree the name sucks. They shouldn't use the name, but they really did because the Workhorsemen had no offense. So it was not a competitive match at all. I thought I like how they have Bryan do this. Bryan clearly can beat the guy at any time, but he likes to toy with him and just out wrestle him and make him look like, just beat him up. I like that. I thought it worked. So go on.
So Owens cuts a promo. And then we get off of the milk cartons comes Carmella and Queen Zelina for the women's tag team titles against
what?
Liv.
They had the tag. Why is this even a belt if that's the team that has it?
Yeah, and why is it a belt when anybody who holds it doesn't even defend it on television?
They had when they made it around Bailey and Sasha, and it made sense to people, and they actually liked having it, and people liked it. Then they immediately had them lose it, and it's never been worth a shit since.
Yeah, that's right. Won't get an argument from me. So like I said, yeah, they're off the milk cartons and again against Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, and excuse me. The winners of this match are surprisingly Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. But so I guess
they won the belts. This was non-title.
No, this was one of those you have to beat the champions to get a title matches.
Right.
Which makes no damn sense whatsoever.
Right.
So basically, because
I at least like Liv and Rhea. I don't know if it makes much sense. I don't know about them as a team, but anyway, I think they're both good, and I guess it works. You got the big woman, the smaller one. She could take the bumps, and they tag in Rhea. I don't know. They just the whole division is just makeshift teams.
Yes, exactly, and
that are just put together to go for the belts, and then they disband.
But Impact did the same thing with their women's tag team titles.
You don't need it. If you don't have actual teams, just don't have it.
Yeah. And fortunately, after a while, I think they got rid of the tag team titles, but they brought them back anyway. But anyway, so Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley earn a WrestleMania tag team title match against the people they just beat on the WrestleMania card.
That's a WrestleMania match?
Yep. That's right.
Well, it's 2 nights, so they're gonna have to have some filler.
Yep. Yeah.
Then there's no reason to have 2 nights if that's gonna be a Mania match.
Well, yeah, they could have put
of all the years. Why did they in modern day have 2? There was like a time when they were hot, like and there's all kinds of people, roster full of people wanted to see. You could have done 2 nights back then, but
they're just copying New Japan. They're just
I
copying
don't
New
think there's
Japan
a
with
need for
the
2 nights now.
they're copying Wrestle Kingdom with the 2
It's
nights.
basically one match people want to see. And we've seen it twice before at WrestleMania, but I mean, all that aside, it has been built really well. Roman Reigns and Brock. And I know, a lot of people are also wanting to see Miz and some guy I don't know,
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Who are they wrestling? The
Mysterios.
Oh God, who the fuck wants to see that?
Logan Paul's going to control his narrative.
Don't forget Johnny Knoxville and take on Sami Zayn.
Yeah, it's not even for the IC belt anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I realize he's a name. I've never been a Jackass fan, but I do realize that people like that. So, but I mean, do I want to see that? No.
Going to be a lot of weapons, I bet.
A lot of kicks in the nuts.
No DQ.
That should, really, he's been kicked in the nuts so often, it probably shouldn't have any effect on him. Just like no effect on me, buddy.
Yeah, that's a free vasectomy right there.
Oh,
Whatever happened to who was the wrestler used to have like balls of steel, the hurricane or something?
oh.
Tornado, human tornado. Whatever happened to that guy? Used to be indie wrestler. His gimmick was he had balls of steel. People just kick him the balls, and he no sold it. He was hot for a while. All right, Raw report.
So the new U.S. champion Finn Balor took on Austin Theory. They had a quick match, and Finn won by disqualification when the now heel Damian Priest interfered in the match.
Just throwing this out there. I don't give a fuck about Rey Mysterio, and I have in the past, but I'd never have given a fuck about Dominic Mysterio.
Rest in peace, Eddie.
And I don't think I ever will. Fuck Dominic Mysterio. Go on, Raw report.
So we had a quick recap and a quick interview, a backstage interview with Bianca Belair, showing that that vicious hair beating that Becky Lynch took.
That was pretty nasty. Shouldn't that be illegal?
What that your own hair is a weapon?
It's not real.
And you
It's not real hair.
use your own hair.
She's going to tie her. She's going to do a Ronda Rousey and have her hand tied behind her back, but with her hair.
What if a wrestler got a weave of like razor blades, like razor wire? Like it's my hair. You start fucking.
That sounds like a good bring your own weapons match weapon.
Yeah, they should do that in GCW.
Total.
Lexar would be all about it.
I think Nick Gage will bring it.
Whip them with their like, yeah, maybe you could get them like, can you get weave on your pubes?
Maybe
That's
get
a good
like
callback.
a pizza cutter. Have a pizza
Are they-
cutter.
They're definitely not from Jungle Boy, am I right?
Raw report.
So Kevin Owens, instead of having a WrestleMania match, he wants to have a KO show on WrestleMania, and maybe he wants to have people from Texas on his WrestleMania KO show, such as JBL, Booker T, but not Shawn Michaels, because he's a proud Canadian. And he doesn't want to have Shawn Michaels on, I guess. Making
Out of
another,
respect for Brett.
yeah, out of respect for Bret Hart. That's right. So,
Hell yeah, I agree. That sounds good.
Al, being a fellow Canadian and being pissed off at Shawn Michaels and forever pissed off at Shawn Michaels for Survivor Series 97. Yeah, But
Do
don't
it.
put Shawn
Yeah, I'm
Michaels
not
on.
even Canadian, but I'll get on board.
I want to see Kevin Von Erich give him the claw for the great state of Texas.
That would be good, actually. That'd be fun. I wonder, do you think you'll ever see the Von Erich kids? I know they're in that. They were. I don't know if they're still in MLW.
MLW.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever see them like on one of the big? Not that I don't want to belittle MLW, but do you think you'll ever have them like see them in AEW or WWE? You think they
Yeah,
would try to get them? I mean, they are a pretty big draw for Texas.
Depends on their contract situation, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, but they
if
pay
get
him like
signed.
$500.
Mm.
So finally, Kevin Owens. It looks like maybe instead of a wrestling match, maybe Austin will come on this show, like a live Kevin Owens show at WrestleMania. And like I said, that would be fine. I'd be happy if he just stunned Kevin Owens and did a beer bash and for the live crowd in Texas.
Yeah, it's just too bad we had to hear about rumors that he was going to wrestle instead of. But I mean, they got leaked out there. What can you do? I guess.
Did you see?
Sounds like he wants to be KO and no Bryan. Sorry, I had to. Go ahead.
Did you see this video that I saw this video online of Austin, I guess, accepting like he was going to be there. I saw it a couple of days ago, but he did respond to Kevin Owens. You just look for it, you'll find it.
I saw the clip actually.
Yeah.
We got a break. Oh, what was that? Did you was that all of it?
Yeah, that was actually the main event segment of Raw was Kevin Owens announcing the KO show at WrestleMania.
I heard they played the music, and like that must have been such a tease because the audience like are gonna expect Austin's gonna be there, and then they just played the music. That's it.
Man, wouldn't you be pissed though? I don't think that's like good heat. That's just like
that's my point exactly.
Let's see here. From the In Your Head news wire, In Your Head rolls out new Control Your Head promotion. Roster includes Songman performing as an Uncle Cracker impersonator and Taza wearing an astronaut helmet and chaps.
I'll bring the chairs.
Man, could you imagine going to a show and has no chairs?
Well, I went to one near me, and it was pretty fun. But yeah, we didn't have any chairs because it was like a small venue. It was like a bar venue.
Tony Khan drops bid to buy In Your Head. Talks reportedly stalled over interest demand for rare Castlevania game. I might have said that one last week. I don't know. Jackie Jones to address the United Nations. We must oppose the tyranny of Applebee's at all costs. Fuck the Applebee's.
How about Olive Garden?
All those three not so swinging.
Unlimited breadsticks right to your head.
Owl Binks deal to author series of children's books. You're never too young to learn that the world's a cruel and heartless place. That sounds like Owl. All righty. That's good. All right. When you get to these questions.
Before I was going to say before you get to the questions. So again, there's news happens right after In Your Head goes off the air. What did you guys think? What are your guys' opinions of Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor?
I think I'm excited about it. It's better than Ring of Honor just ceasing to exist. And I think there's such a giant roster. You could run, you have plenty, you could run two promotions. So I'm curious what happens with it.
It's a good long-term investment too, because then they have the library, so they can possibly get an HBO deal or still use the Honor Club on their own website too.
Yeah, I think
So-
if they're going to start doing they talked about eventually wanting to do their own streaming thing. You have to have content for that, because I love AEW, but it's been around 2 or 3 years. That's really not enough content to do a thing. But if you there's tons of content, Ring of Honor 20 something years, and you've got all the old Punk stuff, and Adam Cole and Samoa Joe, and you've got lots of footage. I heard Meltzer talking. I didn't know this, but one of the other libraries that isn't owned by WWE is the ECW House Show Library. So that would be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that AEW could, like, because you've said on a few occasions that there are people on the AEW roster who aren't ready for television. So do you think they could send some of these people to, say, a Ring of Honor?
I think that's the only thing with that is I don't think you want ROH to be known as the developmental promotion, because I think that's going to turn a lot of people off. Well, first of all, it'll turn off the ROH fans who actually like the built-in audience are like, oh, they're using this as the farm league. And I also think if it's known as developmental, it really hinders people, a new audience, because it's like there's a limited audience for like AA or AAA baseball. So I do think, though, if they did house shows, that's a good place to send people.
I've seen a couple of the.
I would use a lot of these guys that aren't ready to on Dark instead of on Dynamite and Rampage.
I've seen a couple of the Ring of Honor champions in my state at a local show, Red Titus and Josh Wood. So I'm pretty excited to see what they do with them.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Red Titus. He's Red Titus. He's addicted to love. He's Red Titus. All right, we got some questions here from the Headyverse.
Messenger app.
All right, buddy, we'll get to Lexar's first in the messenger here. My phone just died, but that's all right. We got the laptop. Miroslav. Who the hell calls him Miroslav?
I was typing in Miro, but it auto.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Miro has re-signed with AEW. Is this the right call? Oh, absolutely. He's one of my favorite guys in the company. I think he's one of the all-around best guys in wrestling. I think they signed him to 4 years, so it's exciting. I potentially could see him as world champ down the line. Dolph won the NXT championship last night. We brought this up. Are you intrigued? No, but that's cool, I guess. Questions from the Headyverse. Jake something has left Impact Wrestling. What's your memories of Jake something?
Good question.
Good question. Who's Jake something?
I remember when he wrestled that Austin guy. It was good. Can Jack post more photos of the Airbnb and him and Annabelle are going to? Yeah, I'll post them when we're there. It was weird though. I posted pictures. People were all like going nuts about the cabinets. Like, we're not buying the place. We're staying there for a weekend. I don't know. They look fine to me anyway. It's a very bizarre thing to fixate on. I thought. Which match from AEW Revolution is Dave Meltzer going to give 5 stars? Well, probably almost all of them, I bet he get. But in truth, to be truthful, I think a lot of them would deserve it. Like, I don't know,
Punk
5
and MJF,
stars,
maybe.
Yeah, I think the Punk match, Daniel Bryan match, and Moxley. I mean, honestly, even the main event was really good. What level of fame? Oh, even I wouldn't know about 5 stars, but the Jericho Eddie match was really good too. What level of famous would Jack? I'll just say this though too. I think people really worry too much about. Like, it's funny sometimes to goof on it, but it's just the guy's opinion on the matches. Does it really if you don't agree, who really cares? What level of famous would Jack like to be? The fucking internet icon, bitch.
We like to be the Kim Kardashian or Beyonce level or Jay-Z level.
Or the Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, or we like to be like a local celebrity, but if you go to another town, they don't know who you are.
Well,
I'd
you
rather
don't,
be a Saudi royal.
you don't, none of you guys live in Sandwich. And you know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if they don't know you in Harrisburg, Mississippi.
Well,
Like,
there's
sorry,
probably
Paul
someone
Ely.
listening to the show right now in Harrisburg who's saying, fuck that Lexar. Have you ever had a sleepless night? Yes.
You ever
I think-
dance
Oh,
in the
yes.
moonlight? You ever dance with the devil? in the
Not
moonlight?
Steven. He's a sleepy man.
Well,
Not necessarily
have you
sleepy man,
ever-
but he can sleep through anything. That would be nice to be able to do that.
Yeah,
Well,
but let's
speaking
not
of which-
forget, Jonathan Jackson actually slept and snored.
That's very true.
Butler didn't snore either.
I've never slept on the show.
well, that's good.
Christian Calero wants to know. I don't know. I don't know if I trust that guy. Would you like a second promotion for all sports? What does that mean? So like a second baseball league?
Much like wrestling, right? You have WWE is the main wrestling promotion, but now you have AEW. Now you have Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor.
Oh,
and
so
all that
like,
stuff.
should there be
now-
another hockey
and
league?
yeah. If NFL, that's a big time league, football league. It's just like the WWE of NFL. Now you got the XFL and
Yeah,
the
it's not
USFL is
even-
going to start up. So you like to see
But
like
neither of them are even
NBA.
remotely close.
Yeah, they tried the USFL in hockey. They tried the World Hockey League, Hockey Association. Second leagues just have not worked. So
Yeah, the big issue is there's a lot of issues. So the USFL, they bought the talent, but it cost so much money they went bankrupt. And then all the talent was, bought by the NFL. So either it's two things with the sports league. So you're either going to build the leagues around subpar talent, people that aren't good enough to make it in the other leagues, or you're going to have to pay out like insane amounts of money because professional athletes make, multiple millions of dollars. And all those sports, they're not like even wrestling to a degree, but you have to have a roster. But in theory, you could buy a handful of name talent wrestlers because it's driven by, star power, where you can't do that in football. You can't have like let's say you paid Tom Brady a bunch of money to come out of retirement, or an active guy. Like you're not going to have a great football team with one guy. You have to have the whole team around them. So you'd have to buy all these players. Then what do you have? You have one good team, and in theory, maybe the people pay to see that one team. But like if all the rest of the teams are just trash, I mean you have to afford to fund a whole league of teams with like A-list players. It's with decades and decades of history with the other companies, and I don't know if you can really start another. You could start them and people might watch it, but I don't know if they'd ever be actual competition, because I don't think XFL, I mean, even if people watched it or whatever, I don't think it would ever be competition. I think Rock just did some agreement with the NFL anyway, where they're basically going to be like their farm league or something. So I just don't think it could. I don't think it's feasible. I mean, you could. I think maybe not really hockey, because I don't think it's that popular. It's popular just in certain areas, but NBA and NFL is popular. So you could probably do like a minor league of those and get people during the off season to come see it. because some of the XFL games did have a good like live crowd. So I think if you did it with just the mindset that, I'll make a decent thing or something, but I don't think you're ever going to actually compete with NFL or NBA. Brian Matthew Clutter. I don't know what this means. Sometimes I don't know what this guy's talking about. Intra needs to get his young boy in line. It's just a picture of smoking barbecue and fixins. I mean, okay, that looks cool, but I don't know what that means. What do I answer to that? Okay, cool.
I think he means he's in queue. He follows it.
Going on, but it's Q isn't barbecue. That's a pretty common thing.
It's all a front.
I've been to Q barbecue, not that particular one, a different one.
All the money.
Do you think that Nikhil is going to ask 25 questions pertaining about his trip to WrestleMania? Lexar's really jelly about Nikhil going to Mania.
Not really. I mean, there's no access. Like, what is Nikhil going to do the whole weekend? I'm not sure.
All these indie wrestling shows.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well,
So
Nikhil could go to Indy.
Lots of access there.
So people bought these tickets to read these WrestleMania tickets, and they finally told them, "Well, sorry, you're not going to get access out of it." And, I think that's a bit of a ripoff.
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever hidden in the bathroom, like hide and go seek?
Like if you don't want to get caught by your parents, to know.
Like you're jerking off.
Mm-hmm. You just jerk off in the bathroom.
I like to read occult books in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So do you do that, Lexar, when your mom's looking for you, when you wash the dishes, you go hide in the bathroom?
There was one time my mom told me to clean my room, and I instead of barricading my room, I just barricaded in the bathroom.
He's
for
reading
what?
Dilemma.
For how long? Like days?
10 minutes tops.
All right. Did she throw a shoe at you when you got out?
No.
Was it OFB, Scott?
1-inch biceps. What?
Yeah, he's got the IBS, the intra-bicep syndrome.
Yeah, Intra's been pooping for a couple of days here. It's rumored that Sid and Queen Charmel is going to be inducted. I didn't know about Queen Charmel. That's an odd one. They just run out of people. Like we got to put some. Sid's good for Hall of Fame. I know I think Vader's going to go in. Sid's cool. I'm good with Sid. I will say, I see a lot of dumb stuff on the internet, but I don't remember the group's name. I was just scrolling Facebook, and there was an actual debate going on if Undertaker deserved to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I was like,
What?
does anyone in there in any sense like actually think this? Like, come on.
I think Mark Callis should get in there first.
Like, if you honestly didn't think he deserved it, who would deserve it? Like, just like three people, like Hulk Hogan and Austin and The Rock. I mean, come on.
Dice Morgan.
Which is a better wrestling reality show? Total Divas, Corey and Carmella, or The Roads to the Top? I've never watched an episode of any of them, so.
I've only seen Total Divas, so yeah.
I've seen Rosa the Top.
What?
I've seen Rosa the Top. I was surprised by how much they were revealing, how much backstage stuff they were showing, like the whole Black Cody feud.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing. If he leaves AEW, is that show like going to exist? Because I know people like, oh well, Cena has a show, and it's not that they wouldn't necessarily want him on TBS, but they ain't going to let him go film all this stuff if he goes to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people are that interested in just watching people that house, whatever. Jonathan Jackson showing support since I can't be part of the show at the moment. I like that there wrestling. Jonathan. Hell yeah. Big fan of Jonathan Jackson. I got my Two-Face sweater on at the moment.
Riddle me
All right.
this. Riddle me that. Where'd you get that shirt at?
I got it for Christmas actually a couple of years ago. It's pretty sweet though. It's nice and warm. What the hell? Oh, I'll get to that in a second. Does Incher remember the show Chips? I bet he does. Now this is an interesting question. Have you ever accidentally, when you didn't want to intentionally, come? Have you ever accidentally jizzed? Like when? Just like sitting around, or you probably have at the strip club, I bet.
Yeah,
It happens on the plane.
On the plane.
Never happened on the plane. Not even on Amtrak.
Ever happen while you're watching in your head or while you're on the panel? Like when Geraldine zooms in? Ever watch? How
No
about when you're
comment.
watching wrestling?
No, but I hear there's like
How about
Only
when
on
that couple
NXT.
was making out next to you at the wrestling show?
I
Jay
would
Conte and
never,
Jade?
I would never just to that shit. No, no.
Like I
How
said,
about when you're
GG
watching The
Dolan.
View?
Yeah, but
I
when you're
don't
watching
know.
The View,
Not
Whoopi
even
gets
that.
him in the mood. Whoopi does it for him.
Who's the hottest woman on The View?
Well, she's not there anymore, so Megan McKean.
Yeah,
Who?
I was gonna say that.
I don't know who that is.
McCain's daughter, I think.
oh, that Survivor.
How
work.
many gaming apps do you have downloaded right now?
That's a
I
good
just
way
have,
to.
I'm the only one I have on my phone is the South Park.
It's a good way to ask if there's games on your phone. So, good question.
I only have South Park. And a
Used to be Solitaire.
I play cribbage, but it's not an app. It's just like a when you can play online. Old school cribbage.
Used to have Solitaire. Not gonna get the drawing.
Tyler Stevens, who will leave AEW for WWE to become a huge star? I don't know if anyone. I mean, I'm sure people leave, but I don't know if anyone in current WWE. I mean, honestly, who have they made a huge star? Like Reigns? I mean, I don't. They don't really make stars very good. AJ Styles maybe can claim AJ Rollins. I don't know. They haven't really. Who's really like any current guys they made into huge stars? I don't
Lynch.
know. Who?
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, Becky Lynch. That's a good call. I guess maybe then a woman. I could see maybe Jade Cargill down the road. She would probably fit in
Mm-hmm.
big. But I know she taught in an interview, she talked about not going there for reasons, but it'd be different now that she's established. They'd probably, we'll see.
I think she
I
has
don't know.
sponsorship.
This last thing, like, I personally would be leery about going there if what they said is true about, like, they offered Dusty, they offered Cody $3 million to leave AEW, and so then he leaves AEW, then they like take that away and offer him like way less. Like, that's pretty messed up. I think it's messed up for the guy who starts a company to leave for money, but it would make me like think like, well, I don't know if I want to even try this out. Tyler Stevens, would you get Incher's name tattooed on your body? Nope. Where would you get it? No,
The government name or the nickname?
neither for me. I have no tattoos. I am tattoo free.
How about branded?
I have an in your head branding iron here. Geraldine's gonna let me brand her.
Kinky.
Lexar, you want a matching brand?
Like only if it's Geraldine's tattoo.
No, it's in
On
your
a
head.
Geraldine
It's
tattoo.
IYH. Brand that right on your ass.
Can you bring the razor wire hair whip?
Hell yeah. Mike Bessler. If you were offered $250,000 a year for the rest of your life with the sole condition that you will experience explosive diarrhea 3 times a day, every single day, would you take the deal?
I don't think so.
I mean, you can buy some probiotics. You can buy some kombucha to help with that, maybe.
I was just thinking, this might work out for Incher. He'd probably be pooping less every day. Then be getting all this money. So
I'd be praying in the bathroom 5 times a day.
I think no. I mean, the rest of your life, you're just shitting yourself all the time. I think that'd be.
It's a good time to listen to the show, actually.
Yeah, every day for the rest of your life. We
I
only do.
buy a year's supply of Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, but you're gonna live more than a year, hopefully. Unless you're shitting all the time, maybe you wouldn't last long.
You got to insert the Ole Anderson. It's the shits clip into this.
You just plug it up, Lexar. Just start wearing
Okay.
Depends.
You just gotta get sponsored by Pepto Bismol.
I think me and Stevie say no. We're not taking the money. Just to
take the money. Hey, take the money and get the runs. Get it?
Not doing it. Owl, do kids still buy posters? Hell, if I know, I don't fucking know any kids.
I don't even see them for sale anywhere.
Yeah, that's a good. I don't know.
Conventions.
Yeah, but that's more like collectors. I think
anime nerds, they probably buy posters. Like I know I have a JoJo poster somewhere.
Yeah.
And like boomers buy posters.
Yeah, but he said kids.
Like Led Zeppelin. Yeah, I'm just speaking in general.
Would you let CM Punk cover you in ice cream bars and the condition was you could interview him until they all melted away? That'd be a fun interview, actually. Yeah, let's do it. Have you ever made poop in the woods? From Robert Budzinski. No. I don't think so.
I know Paul Orndorff likes to poop in the trees.
Whoa. This one I can't show no here. Who came first? And it's a cartoon egg fucking a chicken. That's Lexar's boy Al Lube. He's got that dirty mind, Lexar.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably locking himself in the bathroom jerking off, don't you bet?
Absolutely.
Nikhil Callahan! Boom. Favorite memories of Vader? Who's going in the Hall of Fame? That's a good question. I'm a huge fan of Vader. I think the best big man in wrestling. I was a fan of a lot of big guys, but I'm a huge Vader fan. For me, I didn't see a lot of his Japanese stuff, so I can't comment on it. But his early 90s WCW stuff's fantastic. His match with Sting.
I like run.
Cactus Jack. That was a good
Cactus
match.
Jack, Sting. That stuff's great.
If you need Japan stuff, check out him squashing. Like he beat Inoki in his debut and caused a riot in Sumo Hall, and then he had a really good match with Masala. I was surprised Masala was able to suplex him.
That was really one of my biggest disappointments even when Hogan came in. I was not a fan of Hogan coming into WCW until he joined the NWO, but like him no-selling Vader and stuff, that stuff really put me off because I was a huge fan of Vader. And then I really thought he would do well in WWE. So I remember right away he comes in and beats up Gorilla Monsoon is a great angle, and then never.
Oh
never
yeah, Vader versus Stan Hansen, where Vader's eye was bulging out. That was a pretty intense.
Oh yeah,
match.
I seen that one actually. They used to show that a lot on the old shoot interviews.
Yeah, I was gonna basically say the same thing. Like before before Hogan came in, or Vader's first run, when he was beating up everybody in WCW.
Yeah, awesome.
He even beat up Sting, like the Golden Boy, like, and he beat him. And I thought, yeah, this was just a great run for him. And then they brought in Hogan, and
it didn't work.
First, it was just like this locker room celebration where he was going to challenge Hogan, and I thought, okay, yeah, you're going to get Hulk Hogan versus Big Van Vader, and yeah, it really killed the whole angle when he gave him the power bomb, and Hogan just jumped right back up like nothing. And I thought, that's it, Vader's dead. And not too long after that, there was going to be the cage match, the War Games match, and then before you know it, Vader was gone to WWE, WWF, and
he was on a Boy Meets World, by the way. Forgot about that.
And I thought
really, I don't know. I thought there was guys he could have worked great with in WWE at that time, because that's when they started to have a good roster and started to rebuild.
My personal favorite Vader match was the Texas Death match against Cactus Jack.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love that match.
I think it's some of Sting's best matches is with Vader too.
Yeah, remember Star K92 and the King of Cable tournament final.
Ric Flair, one of his best matches too.
The cage match against Vader, or either the title match that he won the belt or the cage match. I thought, yeah, those were pretty good too. And I'm glad that Vader is going into the Hall of Fame. I wish they would have done it when he was alive, because he had a career, like the Japan career and the WCW career, worthy of a Hall of Fame induction.
Oh yeah, huge, great career.
And they really should have. They should have put him in when he was alive. And
people often talk about that period of WCW like it sucked, but they had some of my favorite stuff of that era. Regal in his prime,
definitely.
Vader, Cactus, the Bulldog for a little bit was really good. Sting was great during this period. Then you got, Austin was, he wasn't a main event guy, but he was him and Pillman, or just as a singles guy, he was great. They had a lot of great talent. Cactus. That's when Cactus became my favorite guy. And Dustin was really good at that time. You had Rick Rude, Arn Anderson. Let's see here. Thoughts on Tony Khan saying he'll be booking Ring of Honor like a NXT model? I mean, it's fine. I love AEW. I do think booking two actual promotions at the same time is too much for any one person. So I think he'd be better off having someone else actually run it. I mean, he could be the overseer or whatever, but I think he'd be better to have someone else actually book the company, though.
I think
that's
Regal
too much work for one
that.
Guy. AEW star Ethan Page took on Twitter this morning to comment on his 1-year anniversary of the company. I've enjoyed his run. Have you? No. I think this guy, I gave him a shot, but I just think he's a bust. I don't really see a lot in him. To me, he's just kind of a guy. He's not bad or anything, but you have so many great talent. Do you really need him? I don't think so. And I don't like I don't think he has any chemistry with Scorpio Sky. And I don't like Dan Lambert at all.
Kid told me I look like him one time. I'm surprised by that.
How great was it to see Don Callis on the buy-in? I am a Don Callis fan. I was happy to see it. Thoughts on this? Adam Cole is 32 and Adam Page are 30, or main eventing AEW Revolution. If they were on the current WrestleMania 38 card, the only younger male wrestler on the show would be Dominic Mysterio and Austin Theory. That's interesting. That's cool. Thoughts on the WrestleMania card so far? Let's get this card up. I've seen pictures. It does not seem to.
Yeah, I'm not all impressed.
So night one, we have Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. Has this feud been going on for like a year now? See, I only watch your pay-per-views, and every time it's Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin or Madcap Moss. Is some combination of that. Been going on forever. I have no interest in that. It's probably fine, but Rey Mysterio and Dominic versus Miz and Paul Hogan. I mean, I understand he's got to follow. But Logan, I'd rather see Paul Hogan. But Logan Paul, yeah. I have no interest in this at all.
I hope Jeff Jarrett shows up and gives Knoxville and Logan a guitar shot.
It was weird to see the Miz he's been in WWE like 18 years or 14 years. I was like, Jesus. Becky Lynch defending the belt versus Bianca Belair. That'll be good. Oddly enough, they have the two women's matches on night one. That's weird. So they have both the Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair and the Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. I would think you would split those two up, so you'd have a women's title match on both nights. That's weird to me, because then I guess do they have the men's titles on both the same shows? Oh no, because they're versus each other. I guess I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That seems weird though. I wouldn't do that. I still think it should be Becky versus Ronda, but I just fear that Charlotte Flair Ronda match main event in the show, everyone's going to boo it, because I think a Mania crowd, they never want to cheer Charlotte. And I know Ronda's supposed to be the face, but
they're doing a good job as making her a baby face on SmackDown.
I haven't watched it, so I don't know. But
well, yeah, she's getting cheered. Well, it's a good thing because they've got Charlotte as such a great heel, and plus she's opposing Sonya Deville as well, and Sonya's a pretty good heel. Yeah. So by default, Ronda's the baby face, So.
Well, if it gets the right reaction, I mean, Charlotte's really good. Ronda can be in the right situation, so we'll see. Night two. There's also a match to be announced. I don't know what night it's going to be. I assume it'll be night one, since it's only got 4 matches. But RK Bro versus a team to be announced. Well, that's exciting,
It looks to be the Street Profits.
Really?
It might be the
I'm not excited about that.
No, I was just thinking, who the hell wants to see that? I mean, it's a fine match, but that's not like something I really care about seeing on WrestleMania. So you got Edge versus AJ Styles. I haven't really liked the Edge return, but I do think this will be good. That'll be a good match.
Yeah,
Edge and Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. I can't get. I've heard that good things about Pat McAfee. Someone doesn't really watch the shows. I have no interest in this.
It might be a good match, but I'm not invested in either one.
Yeah, me neither. Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. I understand why he's on the show and he is a big name, but again, I don't care about. Maybe it'll be funny. I don't know. We'll see. But I can't say I'm excited about it. Queen Zelina and Carmella versus Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. I don't.
Oh yeah, that was on. Naomi just announced that she and Sasha were now a tag team, another manufactured tag team. You got me on that one.
On the show. Oh, I don't care about that one at all. This one, I know we've had it twice on Mania already, but it is a really built up match, and this one I actually want to see. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns for both titles, I guess. Winner takes all. I think Roman Reigns wins it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm assuming Roman takes it.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that though. If it wasn't for that, this would be like the most lackluster Mania card ever. It still might be, but I don't know. I will say there are times though when a card doesn't look that great, and then it surprises you, because I think part of it is you go in not expecting that much, and also some of the talent knows that people aren't expecting a lot, so really step it up. So we'll see. but I can't say I'm excited about it. I'll watch it though. I watch WrestleMania every year. Ladder match for the WWE NXT North American title at Stand and Deliver?
Oh, that's the NXT show that's
Oh,
happening that
okay.
weekend. Yeah.
All right. Wasn't that an old movie about like a teacher?
Yes. Edward James Olmos
Yeah.
and Lou Diamond Phillips starred in Stand and Deliver.
Maybe he should be in the corner of
Good
Omos.
recall there.
He could be his uncle or something. Carmelo Hayes defending against 4 other competitors. Who will they be? I don't fucking know. I don't know. T-Bar and Mace and who's that? The low budget Italian guy that's in the NXT. He's really terrible. I don't know.
Slapstick.
Any memories of La Resistance? I did like Rene Dupree. I didn't really care for the team so much, but I like Rene Dupree.
I think Renee was wrestling in Japan a while back for Noah, so he's probably still active.
Yeah, he's probably not that old because he was like a 19 or something at that time, I think. D'Lo Brown feels like he hasn't done enough in wrestling to warrant a WWE Hall of Fame induction. Do you agree?
Yep.
In theory, yes, but if you look at people in the Hall of Fame, I mean, no, I mean, he's done as much as some of them people. So. Thoughts on Miro reportedly signed a new we did this one. Yeah, I'm excited. Have you seen the trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi? I have not. Thoughts on a kid coming from WWE NXT to WWE NXT UK to NXT 2.0?
Ooh, yeah.
A guy named A Kid? The hell kind of name is that? Is that like the A-Train son? A-Train son's just A Kid?
Much like Jake something.
Born on the train track.
Yeah, A Kid versus Jake something. Forrest Del Castone's USFL went bankrupt overpaying football players. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because you have to get all these guys, you have to pay them a crazy amount of them. Thoughts on Matt Men's Andrew Zarian reporting that Sid, that would be cool. Thoughts on Roderick Strong making his WWE NXT UK debut?
I think that could be good. I don't watch it, but I think him versus Ilya would be pretty good if they ever do that.
Did they trade? They trade A Kid for Roderick Strong.
That's a good point.
Oh man, this one's getting Stevie excited. Omos and Commander Aziz teased the match on Raw. Would you like to see this at WrestleMania? Yeah, I kind of would like to see it. That is just a morbid curiosity. Commander Aziz or so.
On the pre-show.
You can add Shanky and have a triple threat. You know?
Hell yeah. They could do
Can
World
Veer
War
run in on that?
Be a bad time to bring back World War III. Everybody just gets depressed. They're like, oh shit. It's like foreshadowing. Here it is. Yeah, this is a guy's real name. I thought you were just kidding around, like you didn't know the guy's last name. Jake something has confirmed his departure from Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, it's just real stationary.
What the fuck? Favorite memory? Lexar, you beat him to it. He's asking his favorite memories. Tony Khan says he's not looking to replace Cody's EVP position, but is looking for a new brand. I think didn't he pick I thought Brody Lee's widow was the new took her role. I don't know. I really think that was short-sighted of Cody. I mean, that would have been a job for life. Thoughts on Tony Khan revealing today that the first day of Double or Nothing ticket sales gave AEW their first ever gate of $1 million. That's very exciting. That's great. I did think it was funny that there's so many people trying to excuse it away on social media. Like they were like, "Oh, that's easy to do." I'm thinking, well, if it's so easy to do, why has no company ever done it except for WWE? Not even WCW or anything. No, it's so easy to do, but no one's ever else has done it. It's weird to me that there's a lot of fans who hate WWE and don't watch it. But if you ever say anything good about AEW, they're there to like defend the WWE and Vince McMahon with their life, that they're better. It's very strange.
Yeah, they're flip-floppers.
I don't know. Even if you don't like the company, I mean, it's good. I don't know how you can try to flip this around that it's somehow not impressive. Two-time champion Eddie Edwards has signed a new contract with Impact Wrestling. Are you excited? Nope. Cool for him, I guess. I don't know. And his last question, favorite Ben Stiller movie?
Oh,
I like Dodgeball, I guess.
Zoolander.
no, the one with Winona Ryder and
Parents?
Ethan Hawke.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That is a good movie.
Oh, geez. It's really good, and I just saw it. I have the cassette tape of the
I really like Tropic Thunder.
Reality Bites. That's what.
Yeah, I
Reality
was gonna say
It's a
that.
really good movie too. Yeah, that's a good movie. But I actually that's a good choice. That, or for me, Tropic Thunder. I really think it's funny. Would you? This is Tyler Stevens. Would you interview AJ Styles on a boat if the condition was you could interview him as long as you wanted before the boat fell off the edge of the world? That was very good. Very well done, Tyler.
I guess the CM Punk ice cream sounds better.
Yeah, I don't want to just fall off off the earth. If you interviewed Matt Cardona, would you ask him how good it feels to beat a bank robbing meth addict like Nick Gage? No, I respect the man. And not get Hep C like the Hannibal. No, I wouldn't ask that. Over the years, how many holes did the Undertaker dig for souls? That should be like that would be a good
T-shirt.
good documentary or something. Did they ever do that T-shirt, digging holes, taking souls?
Yeah, I actually got that one
Oh, really?
in 2017.
I'm gonna do a Lexar and holes shirt.
I'm gonna dig my own holes.
Did DJ Curly Bear write a new Hardy Boys theme song? If he did, what would it be called? I don't know. I really don't think DJ Curly Bear would be into the Hardy Boys.
I actually got a question. Would DJ Curly Bear, like, what faction would he join?
Oh, I think he'd join up with the Acclaimed and start a new faction.
That makes sense, actually.
Anastasios Theodosiadis. I tried downloading a video of a dude getting hit by a train. That sounds like fucking crazy.
Sounds like Live Leak.
I think you should probably seek
It's the old silent movie.
I don't know, seek some like help.
Woman on
or
the train
something.
tracks.
I hope he wasn't jacking off to that. Brian Matthew Clutter. Does Sting have one more title run in him, or has that ship sailed? Not singles, but I would really like to see. I'd like to see him and Darby as tag champs, or I've mentioned this before. I'd like to see him, Darby, and Punk when they do the trios title. I think that would be fun.
Maybe TNT, but like in a multi-man situation. So that way he doesn't have to pin somebody like.
I wouldn't, because
super-
they always present that title as the face of almost like the best upcoming, almost like the old school IC title where it's like the best guy that's coming up. I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't be like heartbroken, but I think if you're going to put a belt on him, it would be better in the tag.
I would say give him a week if he has a singles title.
I wouldn't, because then you also have to have him lose it, and then it's kind of sad watching him lose it.
True.
Whose house is it? Steven, I like this House Black.
Well, it could be Swerve's house, could be Paige's house, could be the House of Black. You never know. Could be in your house pay-per-view.
The Heady House. Stellar Steven, Lord William Regal make an in-ring return on AEW? I could see a 6-man match if cleared. I believe so, and he was moved actually to the active roster on the website, and it lists like a 0-0. So I do think we're going to see it, and I would be for that, and I like the 6-man idea because then he doesn't have to do a lot of bumps and stuff. Just do a few spots, make everybody happy, kind of like the Sting rule.
Give him the knee lift to somebody.
Yeah.
Slap a few guys around.
Do kind of, his kind of pompous strut a little bit. Yeah, it'd be good. Stellar Steven, should Raven have made a cameo during the dog collar match of Revolution? Yeah, that would have been cool, even if just sitting in the crowd like they had Greg Valentine that time. Greg Valentine should have been there too. That would have been nice. That would have been cool if they just cut to the crowd and they had in the front row Raven and Greg Valentine. Stellar Steven, should Pat McAfee have asked Vince McMahon about Beyond the Mat? That'd be cool. Cinematic matches or Jerry McDivitt. All that would be good.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I watched.
Cinematic matches would stick around. I'm glad they didn't because I don't know, but I did think they would stay around. I did. Control your narrative, like is basic. I think that's what they're going to do. Cinematic.
Yeah, it's like kind of like Lucha Underground or cinematic. But I think it would have been interesting had he asked him because on Beyond the Mat, he did say that we make movies, so he did eventually.
That's true.
I found McAfee so annoying in that interview.
I anytime I see him, I find him. I know people really love him, which is fine. I'm not saying I think anyone should like who they like, but anytime I honestly have not seen a lot of them, but anytime I do, I just find him very annoying.
Yeah, he can be annoying. I thought the interview was fine, but he has like this almost non-genuine looking excitement all the time. But I was kind of surprised he mentioned Aleister Black briefly, and I just wish he mentioned the things I mentioned earlier.
So now they're saying FTR is teasing a WWE Hall of Famer as Tully's replacement. That would be a good use of Arn Anderson now that Cody's gone. And then I think it would be cool if Tully brought in turn FTR babyface. The crowd does like him, put him with Arn. And then a little, not like right away, but a little bit down the road, Tully comes back with the heel team because people also like to see the Tully and Arn interaction. I think that would be fun.
As long as Arn doesn't use his block.
Oh, but he can deliver a spine buster.
Hey,
Yeah,
when is Brock versus Hook gonna happen?
Brock Anderson?
Brock
Mhm.
Anderson.
Is it gonna? I don't know.
That'd be a
I'd like
good
to see
matchup.
Hook just beat his ass. Let's see. You and Your Memories. Anthony Oberstar says a real Tenenbaums. That's also a good movie. All right. Well, that is all the questions for this evening. That was fun.
Speaking of Royal Tenenbaums, favorite Wes Anderson movie? It's probably that one, isn't it?
Maybe Royal Tenenbaums. I'm very hit and miss with Wes Anderson. I really like his movies or I don't like them. So I know, but it's either one or the other. It's not like this one's okay with. But yeah, probably Royal Tenenbaums. I like Bottle Rocket too. I know it's it was like his first movie, but I liked it. All righty. Check out Without Your Head, Women in Horror Month. Had some cool interviews. I did a couple today. One's up. The other one will be up Friday. Also a new Dinner and a Movie. Annabelle and I reviewed
Oh, I got a question.
Shakespeare Shitstorm from Troma. And we also have two other reviews coming up. We got a review of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 and a review of Nightmare Alley. What was your question?
The guest that you had on Without Your Head, what movie would you recommend? I mean, I know she mentioned the short film, but would there be something that she did that you'd recommend to anybody in general?
Yeah, well, she's just now having her first feature film coming out, so
Look out for it.
Yeah, look for it. And then, but the other one I would check out on Shudder, if you have Shudder. Really fun interview. She was really cool, Mary C. Russell. I'm really looking forward to her feature film and having her back on. Very fun interview. She's very cool. Barbie Wild will be on this month. The female Cenobite from Hellraiser 2.
Oh shit.
Goretta is going to be on from Demons. A lot of independent women in horror. It'll be fun. Oh, Eileen Dietz will be on next week too. She played Pazuzu in The Exorcist. She played the face of the. She actually played. She played the girl in The Exorcist in more scenes than was originally said too, because they didn't want an underage person doing any of the sexual stuff. Jack, did you watch the Vince McMahon interview? I did not. I saw a couple clips online, but I did not watch the whole thing. I might though, but I've not really heard like it was like really interesting, so I don't know if I'll watch it.
Yeah, there was very few interesting things about it.
I think what stood out to me most was Vince's JR story about these promoters like trying to put out they're conspiring to put a hit on him.
Yeah, I've heard that story like several times though. When they're talking in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
It seemed like a lot of the stories that he said were stuff that I've heard like many times.
Yeah, I've heard that he didn't tell a lot of new stuff, but it was.
Which is fine if you never heard it. I'm not saying it's a bad story or anything. It's just that I've heard it told a bunch of times.
It's just only interesting because Vince doesn't do a lot of out of character interviews.
Yeah. I did think it was funny. People thought it was so big of him that he didn't trash AEW, and I was just like, I don't know. He's being interviewed by a guy that like he employs. He's not going to
guts pal.
Yeah, because he has trashed it before. Then they act like he's like just saying or something. What were you saying, Lexar?
How about the statement that he said that being a WWE superstar is much better than being a pro wrestler?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
whatever
he wants to think. It is strange that the guy who owns the biggest wrestling company is so anti-wrestling. I know this is old news and everything, but it's off-putting to me as a wrestling fan that the guy who owns the main wrestling company, like you could tell he doesn't like wrestling. It's weird.
I guess it's
stupid for liking watching the show.
I guess it's like a marketing standpoint. Like you're a WWE superstar.
I think it's his mind thing, but I don't think. I think everyone really just thinks it's kind of stupid. I mean, WrestleMania is their biggest thing, and it says wrestling reigns title. WWE is World Wrestling Entertainment. No one watches that and thinks this is sports, and they watch it and this is wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But wrestling's not that mainstream anymore, so that's why he labeled.
It doesn't matter. No one is ever going to see this as anything but wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He could call it whatever he wants to call it, but everyone in the world knows that it's wrestling. Have you ever heard one person in your life say, "I'm going to watch sports entertainment," or say, "Man, that's a really great sports entertainer"?
I've been sports entertained tonight.
No one has ever said this, and no one ever will.
Maybe the strongest WWE mark will say it.
No one talks like that.
No.
What about that guy with the WWE tattoo?
No, nobody. When are they ever going to put out that the big wrestling fan documentary?
The Vladimir? Yeah, I don't know why they didn't release it.
Why would you put all this time making something and then just never release it?
Mm-hmm. They didn't release the Lex Luger documentary either. The Icons.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. All right, I'm predicting Arn. Does anyone else have any predictions on who the new FTR?
Yeah, I'm predict Arn.
Yeah, Arn Anderson.
Maybe Ricky Morton. He's in the Hall of Fame, right? They put in the Rock and Roll Express, but yeah, I'm guessing Arn.
I don't know if he's still alive, but the person who used to manage the
Legion. They're not going to put a dead guy in. Who?
The person who managed the Legion of Doom back in the 80s.
Oh, Paul Ellering?
Paul Ellering? That wouldn't be too bad of a choice.
it would get a pop. I've personally never really been a fan of his, but I don't think he's a very good pro. I never understood what he added to the Legion of Doom personally, but people would pop just because it's an old name.
I think it's because he's the smart one of the group.
Oh, is he? Never seemed too smart. But anyway, that was In Your Head tonight. That was fun. Had a good time. We'll be back next week. Hopefully Intra's done pooping by then and done wiping and washing his hands. And we'll be back to the Tuesday show. I might do a live show after Dynamite. I used to do them. I might do them. They're fun. We'll see. Usually I forget what happened on the show come the next week. So it'd be better to do one right after AEW. But we'll do our regular live show Tuesday, then maybe a shorter show Wednesday after Dynamite. We'll see. But we'll be back Tuesday. Join the Facebook group. Subscribe here. If you want an 8-bit, your one made of you, $25. Send it in. I'll get it done. Might take me a little bit because it takes a little while to make, and I'm making some for some independent horror movies. I'm making a line for an independent horror film, and I'm a busy man, but it'll get done. All right, folks.
Right.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all zooming in. Good to see you, Steven.
Yes,
good to
I
see
made
you,
it
my
through an
boy
entire
Lexa.
show.
And good. Thank you for Stellar Steven for zooming in.
Yep. House always wins.
You're a good man. Thanks, everybody. Bye.